The following is a dramatization. Any likeliness shared to any other podcast hosts is purely coincidental. December 31st, 2025.
See you next Tuesday. Oh man, Toby. We hit our Game-Boree goal. I always feel great inside when helping people in need, but it's even sweeter that we made even more than our goal.
Oh, me too, buddy. Although I mean, emotionally, I feel great. Though I'm tired. I'm ready to jump back to a regular podcast schedule. But I mean, on the inside, I feel like I don't know how to describe it. I feel itchy.
Stomach problems? Maybe just stress from the Game-Boree or something. Surely it's not something you ate. I mean, I can kind of feel the effects. Mousetraps are definitely for mice and not for thick boy hands.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Now that we achieved more than what we set out to, we can go back to our normal stuff. But no more spicy stuff and no more crunchy bugs. So let's play some games and see what gets in the next episode, huh?
The present day.
Hey, I've been playing that Game Boy game. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I had to choose like a mobile game because my stomach's been killing me. I can barely crawl out of bed. My head's buzzing.
Hey, bud, you know the show can wait if you're sick. Your health is more important than any episode. Plus, this game is hard. It's going to take me some time to get through.
No, I really want to finish, but that buzzing, it just won't stop. I feel like my skin's crawling.
Yeah, that's pretty concerning, man. Turn on your webcam. I'll call for Jenny Bean. Maybe you need to see a doctor.
All right, give me a second. I'm sure it's nothing.
Crap, Toby! You have antenna coming out of your head, and your skin looks like an exoskeleton. The bugs that you've eaten, they've taken you over. Oh, quick, we better call in the stunt doubles.
BadSecretMedia.com. I hate Bad Secret Media.
Gamers, and welcome back to Secret Levels Podcast, Stunt Double Edition 2 Electric Boogaloo. On this episode, we get lost in the forest.
I'm Player 1, poorly translated Toby.
And I'm Player 2, an enemy is in your way. You've defeated it. Now another enemy is in your way, Goobs.
And this is a retro video game show where we go over one game per episode. We go over the history of the story, the gameplay, some fun facts, and then
we go right into the rage meter, where you get so angry that you drink a liter of gasoline and then pee on a campfire to put it out, so the fire travels up your pee and into your urethra.
Oh, that sounds really, really rageful.
Yeah, and not tasty either.
And I'll tell you what, a whole liter of gasoline, that's kind of pricey right now, ain't it?
Well, yeah, but, you know, you want to make sure you have enough. You don't want to dilute it.
Yeah, that's definitely good advice. So, what game are we playing this week?
We are playing Sword of Hope for the Game Boy. All right, it's story time with Toby.
Okay, so as this story filtered goes, it's a tale of hope and redemption set in a kingdom where a dragon has gained control over the king, manipulating him into removing the Sword of Hope from a painting and releasing its curse. Which I have questions already. It's like, why was the sword in the painting? How do you pull it out? Is this like a Ghostbusters 2 thing?
Maybe, Toby. With the translation, who really knows what happened? Maybe the story was lost in time.
Perhaps. Like, I feel like this might be a thing to where maybe the sword isn't so hopeful because Vigo's holding it. But I gotta be very careful pronouncing the land that they're from, but the people of Rikar are turned into trees due to the dragon's dark power. Be very careful how you say that. Rikar. So Prince Theo, or Theo, however you want to pronounce it, who was born after the king's evil, is saved by a knight named Pascal, who flees with him into a forest where 3 magicians live who conceal the king's castle underground to prevent the evil from spreading. After living in the forest for 15 years, the prince is strong enough to try and stop the dragon using the Sword of Hope, which one of the magicians has retrieved. At least I think that's the proper story for this game, because, as Goobs mentioned earlier, the translation isn't so hot.
That is a very long and involved Star Wars crawl there for what is basically go out and beat up everything until you find the sword.
Yeah, and what I found interesting, gameplay-wise, I actually kind of enjoyed the beginning. It's just that the story was nonsensical in a way.
Yeah, but do you think it's relaxing to be turned into a tree? Like, you're just a tree now. You don't have to pay your bills, and you don't have to pay for food. You know.
It sounds kind of comforting to me. Every time it rains, it's like a free meal, and you can, like, hold on to all the water that you need.
Yeah, so are we the... What if the people don't want to be broken from the curse?
Wait, now that I think about it, did you ever see it rain in this game?
Ring?
Yeah, it never rains, did it?
Oh, no. No, I don't think it does rain.
Oh, the people are starving.
Oh, no, all the people are starving.
So maybe that's the villain's goal. Turn them all into trees and then slowly drain them of their life by refusing to let it rain.
Oh, that is certainly evil. And the worst part about being a tree, you can't even jump. Like, we can jump into these deets.
Okay, so Sword of Hope was developed by Kimco, and they might be a familiar name for you guys. And why would that be, Goobs?
Because Kimco is best known for things like Shadowgate and Uninvited and Deja Vu.
Yes, and did you know that they live on to this day? They are still around.
I did not know that.
They are currently making a mountain of role-playing games for Android.
Oh, so they're just still doing this, like, same basic thing.
Sort of, yeah. A lot of them are more of the Final Fantasy turn-based style, kind of like this game is for the first person, but it's more like the side profile like the earlier Final Fantasy games were. But they are still making games. It's crazy the amount of games that they put out on Android. Like, if you look up the list, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now, because I forgot to bring that up in my notes earlier. Oh, and I did say Androids, but they are also on Amazon as well. Like, there's easily 40 different role-playing games in here. I did try a couple of them, and they're not bad. They're definitely a more generic kind of Final Fantasy, and you can tell that they were definitely made in Japan and then translated over, but they're not bad if you like a cheap RPG experience. I wouldn't pay the full $8 price for them, but anytime they go on sale for 99 cents, which they do quite often, they're worth picking up just to try out.
99 cents is a pretty good price to pay for a classic RPG experience. So, yeah, I could give that a try.
Yeah, because you know us secret level thick boys, we love our RPGs, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Secret Levels is absolutely known for all our RPG coverage.
Jumping back into the dates, Sword of Hope was released on the Game Boy in Japan on December 28th, 1989, North America on June 1991, and in Europe in 1991, month unknown. It does have a sequel called Sword of Hope 2. Both games were re-released on a single Game Boy cartridge in Japan, and it was also re-released in Japan for the 3DS Virtual Console and the Nintendo Classic Service on the Nintendo Switch.
Which is where I finally got to play it for the first time, after reading about it in Nintendo Power all those years ago.
Yeah, I actually still have the issue of Nintendo Power that featured this game, so I did manage to look it up there. And honestly, it would have been something that was probably up my alley as a kid.
What was on the cover of that issue, did you say?
That was Mega Man 3 that was on the cover.
Yeah. There was a game. Shadow Man, Hard Man, Magnet Man.
Top Man.
Oh, Top Man.
And then who can forget the Wily Bots? Or the Doc Robots. I got the name wrong. They're the Doc Robots.
Wonder what ever happened to that guy.
He got blown up 8 times, so I figure he was pretty tired after that one.
Yeah. It's hard to come back from eight explosions like that. You can ask Ginny Bean. I can only normally handle 1 or 2.
Oh, no.
You're doing better than I can, although, man, I'm feeling like, it feels like my skin's like exploding underneath it right now, crackling, popping. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe we should we hurry up and grind our way into the gameplay?
Yeah, let's grind our way into the gameplay. So, Sword of Hope plays kind of like a first-person dragon warrior. You're always looking at, whenever you're walking around, you're looking at like a first person, like a Shadowgate or one of the other classic Kimco games, where each room that you go through is just a screen that you're seeing, and you can either look at whatever you want to, the items of interest in the room, like in a person or a pigeon. There are a surprising number of pigeons in the game, Toby. Or if you want to talk to somebody, you look at them. But whenever you're walking around out in the actual forest, then you are attacked by creatures, and that's when it goes into a Dragon Warrior or an Earthbound style turn-based combat.
Yeah, the combat to me was very reminiscent of the first Dragon Warrior game on the NES. The only difference being that there were multiple enemies, and more enemies could stumble into your combat, although you were only ever in control of your main character. You never got any other party members.
Yeah, this game would have definitely benefited from having another party member or two. It was very ambitious, but at times the enemies could get a little overwhelming. There are times, and it would, when you were looking at the map that would tell you which directions you could go in, it would have a little dot next to it if there was an enemy that you'd have to fight before you went to the next room. But even then, whenever you would try to clear out, defeat that enemy, sometimes another enemy would show up. So it would sometimes take you 2 or 3 tries just to go left like you wanted, which it got frustrating very quickly.
Yeah, same here, especially when like you're in the middle of a dungeon and you're in the middle of a kind of more difficult fight, but you're on the top end of it, and then out of nowhere, here comes an elemental wandering in, and the enemy attacks the elemental, which explodes and kills you.
Yeah, so at first I really enjoyed, I thought this game was very simple. When I was going through so I guess the best way to put it would be, you're in a forest, and there are 3 doors that go to 3 different domains. So when you beat the first boss of the forest, it gives you a key to unlock one of the other domains. You go in, and for a while I thought this game was just gonna be real quick, easy, like a baby's first RPG sort of thing, because I was going through enemies no trouble.
I felt the same way too, because I was actually in that second door fairly quickly.
Yep. But once you got to that second door, the wizard Shabdo?
Yeah, I believe that was his name.
Once you got to his place, his realm, the game got crazy, brutal, difficult.
Well, you went from fighting moths and skulls to like robots and apes and cyborgs like quite quickly, and it does have the difficulty jump that you would think from the 2 different types of enemies.
Yeah, Toby, I was very disappointed because the numbers were all over the place. Sometimes you'd hit an enemy and you would do like 2 or 3 damage. Sometimes you'd hit them and you'd do up to 20. But at the same token, sometimes they would hit you and do 1 or 2 damage. I mean, they would hit you and do, upwards of 30 or 40, and all of a sudden you're down. Now, death, to the best of my knowledge, doesn't hurt you any other than you go back to your starting room and wake up. I don't think you lose any experience points. I don't think you lose any gold. You just lose progress because you have to make your way back to where you were. And unfortunately, with, again, all the random encounters, getting back to where you were can take a lot longer than you would like.
Yeah, like there is a teleport spell which helps with that a little bit, but speaking of the magic in this game, I was a little frustrated by the magic because your prince that you control, he's very awkward with his magic.
Oh, you mean how whenever you get your first spells, they have about a 33% chance of attacking you instead of your enemy?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that if you're trying to spell out in combat, you'd halfway know what you're doing, but every once in a while, instead of pointing your palm at the enemy to fire a fireball, apparently you're looking into your palm and you blow the fireball right in your face instead.
Yeah, there are much better, more exciting things you can do with your palm, but casting spells is not something you should do on yourself. Not fireballs.
It's not recommended. You did mention earlier this game does take some cues from Shadowgate. However, I felt like it was kind of like a Shadowgate light. Like it had the UI of Shadowgate, but some of the puzzles weren't exactly like Shadowgate quality.
Like how you just sort of were never told what to do with the items that you got, and there were very little hints.
Yes.
So one of the things that you can do that sometimes gives you hints is you can talk to the trees in the forest. They did still that, as we learned about at the beginning of the game, they were the citizens until they got turned into the trees. But you can talk to them, and they'll sometimes give you hints. But yeah, it's not always very clear, and I only learned a couple of things, did a couple of things just by accident, and got lucky.
Yeah, that was my issue too. A lot of times I was finding myself using every command on everything to figure out what to do next. And I was also frustrated in the middle of the game with the pathfinding, because there were moments there would be an arrow for a path, but that path would be inaccessible. And later on, you would find your way to the opposite side of that path, and you could travel through to get back. But then once you got back, even though you knew where the path was, if you click that arrow to go back, it's like, no, the trees are too tight in this area, you can't get through. It's like, but I just got through going the other way.
Yeah, one-way paths are frustrating. And you talked about the teleporting would have been so much more useful if like you go to the different realm, you talk to the wizard of that realm, and that area or zone or whatever you want to call it. And whenever you defeat the final boss of that zone, then you get the ability to teleport to that wizard.
Mm-hmm.
After you have very little reason to go back to that zone.
Yeah, that part can be quite frustrating. I was also frustrated with the gold system in this game because there is a gold cap of 255. And while the game is very forgiving for you dying in the game, you get to keep all your gold and your XP, it punishes you for leveling up because the item prices increase every time you level up.
Yeah, I noticed that the healing went up each time, only by a coin, but still, that adds up. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably somebody out there, because 255 gold or rupees is what you can hold in Zelda. I'm sure it's probably a programming thing, and I'm sure they were probably trying to cram as much into this game as they could on their cartridge. But yeah, we're spoiled by today's modern game and economy where you can hold as much gold as you want, or at least up to like 1,000.
Now, I did like the explanation, though, of, hey, the gold's too heavy for you to carry.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good point. That is pretty clever.
However, that's underscored by the fact that you can find multiple other items while you're at max gold, and you can just pick them up no problem. It's the gold that's heavy.
But yeah. Rubies are very light in this game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of spells, did you have a favorite that you did use a lot?
I just liked the fireball. I think it was Fire 4 that would fireball everything. Except for some enemies have reflect, so that hurt.
There were a few. Teleport I liked just because it was free. I did use the Rec Mead, Rec Min, and Rec Max spells a lot to restore my HP. The fireball spells were fun. Lightning came in really handy for the one of the bosses in particular. I think it was like the slug boss. So I need lightning in a well to take on a slug, but here we are. Then there's also Arctic, Beige Fire, Blind, Grace, Lightning, Pillage, which I never used. Pillage raises the caster's points and lowers those points from the target, but I didn't really use them all that much. Explosion, Strip All, Strip MP. There's another spell called...
There's a spell called Strip All.
Yes.
Go on.
Strip All reduces targets' agility, dexterity, and stamina. They keep their clothes.
Oh. I guess there's reasons to cast that.
I'm sure there is, but I mean, in its defense, there's a lot of enemies in this game that don't appear to be clothed in the first place. Like a lot of the bugs, like the moths and whatnot, they're not clothed. The bats don't have clothes.
Okay, that's a good point, Toby. That's a good point. But
it is interesting that there are a few people that were not turned into trees outside of yourself. There is the shopkeeper, the wizards, the shaman, the old man.
So, all the people that charge you money for things.
Yeah, maybe if a dark wizard's magic would have been repelled from someone that had some money.
Even the dark wizard is no match for capitalism.
A depressing thought. Did you try to open any of the NPCs?
I did.
Easily the funniest moments in the game are when you try to open the NPCs. Some get a little flustered whenever you attempt to open them.
I forgot you could do that. You can open NPCs, you can open pigeons or other weird. Yeah, it gets wild. You can also try hitting them. That was awkward, but yeah, the game has a hit option. You can use it on walls, and occasionally it does stuff, but very rarely. You can try to punch a treasure chest to see if it's a mimic or not. What did you think when you found your first mimic, Toby?
I was a little surprised, although with it being this type of game, it's okay. I can see a mimic being in it. However, it's interesting because whenever you punch a treasure chest, if it's not a mimic, at times it will restore your HP for some reason.
Oh, that would have been really good to know.
It don't fully restore you. You get like 3 points.
Okay, so not enough to do anything.
Right, it's like the difference of like maybe a hit.
Oh, what a bizarre little mechanic.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess your character likes hearing like that hollow gong sound. I don't know.
Punch the box for health.
Sure. As long as they're punching it and not swatting it. So, what else stood out to you in this game?
You got a lot of I didn't like maybe it's covered in the manual, but you got a lot of random items that I just had no idea what they did. At one point, I got an egg. I got a doll. I had a charm that turned into a ruby when I don't want to give away spoilers, but I did a thing at a place and a light came out and turned my charm into a ruby. And yeah, but I didn't know what to do with it. Maybe it came into play later. I don't know.
One thing that I did like is that in the very beginning of the game, whenever you had the 3 gates that lead to the wizards, one of your wizards is named Shabao, which means that one of the gates is Shabao Gate.
Oh, I never. Okay, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, I did like that little call out, which was nice to see it survived the horrible translation this game got.
Oh,
I guess we should bring some attention to the translation of this game because there's issues.
I'm sure somebody tried very hard and was under a lot of time constraints. We all know that translations are notoriously rushed, but yeah, this was bad. There were a lot of misspellings. Grammar wasn't always there, and sometimes you just kind of shrugged and had to guess what important information they were trying to tell you.
I mean, this is down there with the translations in like Castlevania 2.
Yeah, it really is.
Like a lot of the stuff is just completely nonsensical, and you can tell they're trying to give you a clue, but it just doesn't work.
No, I guess I might be over exaggerating, and it's very rarely anything that's so bad that you can't figure out what's going on. I don't want to bury the game too bad because it is a fun game, but it's definitely one of those where you're going to want to have a guide with you.
Yeah, it is a game to where, like, if I was on a car ride with a Game Boy, I would be more than happy spending half an hour just grinding levels in it.
Oh, yeah. It's the problem is whenever you have to drive places, they frown on you playing the Game Boy or the Switch when you're driving.
Yeah, especially whenever you got your interior car light on, too, because that screen's not backlit.
No, it's not.
This game cost me a lot more than $20.
I tried to explain to the officer that I was speeding because my battery was dying, so I had to get home before the battery died.
That lady was very upset.
Anyway, Toby, is this new transformation distracting you as much as it is me? I mean, like, I see your antenna keep bobbing, and I'm pretty sure your wings flutter, and it just... Yeah.
That's a little different with the extra legs, but with the wings, I can fly now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of flying, I got a couple of flies in here right now that keep landing on me and bugging me. So I think I'm going to go get a fly swatter.
Hey, don't you dare. Those are part of my new family.
Sorry, Toby. Can't hear you. Need to take care of these flies. All this buzzing is affecting our podcast audio. I got to fix this problem.
My brothers are not a problem.
Hey there, Toby. Been a while since we've seen each other. Oh, sweetheart. What happened to you?
Hey, Goobs Genie. So, I'm a bug boy now.
Yeah, I see. Look, I'm sorry, buddy, but I got a strict rule. No relations with anything with a carapace.
Well, if I knew that's what it took, maybe this isn't such a bad thing after all.
Well, that doesn't mean I can't help you, though. Starting with this code for the game you're playing. Sort of hope. But this code is very special. You gotta put your game in me for it to work. Ooh.
Oh, that's no problem. I can scurry over and...
No. On second thought, just toss the game over to me.
Oh, you don't need to come all the way over here. I can just fly over and...
Toby, toss the game. Not the salad, just the game.
Fine.
Ugh. Yep. Yeah, I recognize this. Here are some codes that you can use once the game has been put inside me. If you want to start with 12 stamina points, enter 09A, C4D, F7E. And if you want infinite hit points, and you probably will, 001 72 B as in boy, F as in frog, 75. And that's how you get infinite hit points, so you can take a beating no matter how many times it takes.
There's some handy codes there, Goobs Genie.
Thanks, Toby. Here's your game back. And don't worry, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get you fixed up.
I don't know if I need fixed up. I'm kind of getting used to being a bug boy.
Sorry, Toby, but I like that sweet little booty without it excreting web fluid. There's a different fluid that might go better with it, though. Ooh. Anyway, let me go get some genie dust, and I'll be back.
No, I'm fine with this. I have more hit points with my new carapace.
Sorry, but I did what I had to do there, Toby. I'm back now. The flies have buzzed off.
No! My siblings!
You don't know that. They're Canadian flies. They're not even Texas flies.
I thought that was a fact now. Speaking of facts, you want to hear some bug facts?
What kind of facts?
Fun facts.
It's time for Fun Facts with Toby. Bring!
Bring!
Stop that.
Well, Goobs, it's time for me to bug you some more with our favorite game show.
What game's that, Toby?
We're going to play the number 2 game show, What Rating Is This Game? And on this show, I'm going to ask you, Goobs.
That's me.
What rating this game got. Now, unfortunately, I could not find a rating for this game in Nintendo Power, which means we're going to be using the average of the GameFAQs reviews. There are 3 reviews on the GameFAQs website, which means we're going to take the average of them, and you have a 3-point window.
All right.
Shout out to Tall Hands on that one. So, this game, which was a Game Boy game, first-person role-playing adventure. These are user reviews from across the years. 1 review in 2014, 1 in 2002, and 1 in 2004. what do you think the average is?
All right. Well, well, this game, it definitely has. I mean, it's trying, and it's very unique concept, and so you got to give it credit for its uniqueness. But the execution was lacking. So, it's. I'm gonna go with a 5.5.
Are you wanting to adjust that any?
Yes, because if you're playing this game, it's probably because you wanted to play it. If you wanted to play it, you wanted to like it. So, alright, Toby, I know that you didn't want me to change my score because it was probably really close, and you were trying to trick me, but I'm going to go with 6.
Well, with the 3-point window, you didn't even need it. You got it. It is 6 on the dot.
Yeah!
Okay, so now let's talk about some more fun facts of Sword of Hope. And it looks like we've covered all the fun facts that were out there in the main episode. So, does that make you angry?
The fact that there are no fun facts about this fun game, it's time to motherfucking rage.
Oh, come on!
Rage.
All right, so for real, all of the fun facts we actually covered in the episode already. The fact that Kemco is still around making RPGs, there's not a lot on these games. They were re-released in Japan. I guess they had more success over there than they did here, but that's pretty well it. So we're going to go right into the rage meter.
Like, does this game make you so mad that you just want to smack an elemental in the face and watch it explode and then grab it and shove it up your butt so it explodes up your butt? Oh, so angry. And my butt is so sore it's going to hurt when I poop.
There's already a liter of gas, too, up there. It sounds rageful.
There are so many things inside my stomach right now. But yeah, I
can feel a lot in my stomach right now, too, moving around.
Yeah, that's creepy, Toby. You shouldn't have so many bugs in there. You definitely should have chewed more before you ate them.
That's okay. I feel like I'm one with the cosmos and with my new bug friends.
Well, I am one with the rage meter. This game is so frustrating. The fact that you have to go through so many random encounters and you can only get 255 gold, and you just have to fight everywhere multiple times just to go through a screen, just to get where you're going, is just, and the creatures are so, their damage range is so wild, you can go from like down to like 2 or 3 to go up to like 40 or 50 based on what the attack they're doing. And once you get to the second zone, your sword does nothing. So you got to use magic. So you got to have the things that heal, that restore your magic. And even then, you've got creatures that will just take your magic points from you. And so now you've got to go back and level up and get more magic items to restore your magic. And that stupid cave that just keeps, it's called the Cave of Trickery for a good reason, but it's just, and then just all that, and it's just, you just want to, smack everything with your sword, which only gets slightly more powerful whenever you level up. So, yeah, no. This game, easy 8 on the rage meter.
So for me, my frustration, a lot of it came from the translation of the game. I felt every screen, I needed to try to do every action to find out what to do, to talk to the one tree that would talk to me in the area in the forest, only to oftentimes either not get a clue or to get a clue that didn't really help a whole lot. I was frustrated by the magic that would blow up in my face whenever I tried to use it. If I've mastered using a spell, why would it blow up in my face? Like, if I'm going to go in the battle with this, why am I flinging fireballs in my own face? I'm not stabbing myself with my own sword. So why am I casting a tornado spell and sucking myself up? Actually, sucking myself up does kind of sound a bit better now that I think about it. But anyway.
Oh, you're right. And that stupid Bage fire spell that would just hit you with a tornado. Why are you casting a fire spell that turns into a tornado? And why is it hitting me? 8.5.
Ooh, went up with yours a bit. I'm going to keep mine, I think, at a 6.5. While the battles could be frustrating, I did enjoy the fact that it was a turn-based battle system on the original Game Boy, and I could grind and level up a bit. Honestly, to me, that was probably where the fun part of the game was, just level grinding, which is a shame because looking at the game being a Shadowgate clone at first, to a degree a Shadowgate clone, I was looking forward to some puzzle solving, but a lot of the puzzles weren't, there wasn't really a whole lot to them. Like the first major dungeon, which is down the well, don't want to give any major spoilers or anything, but honestly, it was more difficult going through the enemies than it was finding my way through the dungeon. Although, then later dungeons, it kind of flips that to where the dungeon is almost completely, like, there's no way of making sense of it.
Yeah, so 6.5?
Yeah, 6.5 for me. And you said you went with an 8.5?
Yeah.
All right, so I can't do that math in my head, so we're going to use the power of Google, not AI, just regular Google, to see what the average is on an 8.5 and a 6.5. And that number did not pull up immediately because that would be too easy, wouldn't it?
7.5?
You might be right on that. Calculating, please provide at least two numbers. 8.5 and 6.5 are indeed two numbers. There we go. Yes, 7.5. Goobs, you are much smarter at math than I am. You should get two of them for that one. But now that you're in a good mood and calmed down, maybe I should calm down a bit too, and let's talk about what we would rate this game.
Overall, it is a very interesting idea. The turn-based puzzle solver is something that I had never seen before. And so I want to give it a lot of credit for trying something new, combining the two genres of RPG fight with puzzle point-and-click adventure. And I think that it went a little overboard with the combat and really undersold the point-and-click adventure part, which was my favorite part that I was looking forward to. But I do want to give it the credit for trying it, and I think that ultimately it's a 7.5. Again, like, were I a kid who was trying to... This was the only game I got for, like, a month, as opposed to an adult who's trying to get through a certain number of games per year because I signed up for a Beat the Backlog challenge on our Discord. This would be a bit more appealing. And I wouldn't mind having to grind so much. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 7.5.
All right. I'm going to go a hair bit lower on this just because there's other games, even on the Game Boy, that I did like more, but there's also games I like less. I'm going to go a 6.5. I love the idea behind mixing together a point and click with turn-based Final Fantasy style combat. Absolutely love the idea. I feel like if the game would have had more time to cook, it would have been a lot better. Give me a better translation, make the combat a bit more balanced. Those two things alone would have really, like, given this game the extra point or even 2 points that it needed, in my opinion, to bring it up to that 8.5 level. But just the fact that the combat was not balanced at all and the translation was really bad For me, it dragged the game down a bit. I love the idea, though, and if they would have just, like, put a bit more in the point-and-click puzzle aspect of it, and balanced that combat, and given us a better translation, I could have scored it higher. So I have to go 6.5, and that makes our score on the average a 7.
I think a 7's pretty good. You're in for an interesting experience, a unique experience, but not one that's just gonna be that's gonna be leave you like it's no Cuphead.
It's worth a play if you haven't experienced it yet and you like either Shadowgate style games or Final Fantasy based games. And if you're already owning a Switch and you have Switch Online, it's right there if you want to play it.
Yeah, I'd say probably just like a couple of hours to really get the full experience. At that point, you're going to get to Shabbo's realm, and that's you've gotten a lot of good there. You've gotten a lot of good gameplay experience there. That's a good time to call it if you're just looking for something new.
So I did look. This is not the game that the Stunt Doubles play. This is the game that the main hosts play. But as a little bonus, do you want to guess like the average of this game? Like how much it is on eBay?
Oh, I'm gonna go with $60 loose.
You're actually pretty close, and in some areas you would get it because there is a auction here for $64.77 before shipping. There's $45 plus $5 shipping, $55 plus $4 shipping. So yeah, it's pretty close to where it's going for right now. Strangely enough, the Japanese version goes for a lot less. They do have a Japanese version on here for $11. But interestingly enough, if you want a piece of history, there is a prototype cartridge right now for Sword of Hope 2 on eBay if you'd like to pay a hot $1,000 for it, plus $5 delivery.
$1,000 I would pay for, but not if you're going to make... If I'm paying $1,000, you're not charging me for delivery. That's a scam. No.
Yeah, you're right. If I'm paying $1,000, you better hand deliver that to me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like every episode, we like to thank our supporters. We're going to do something a little different this episode. We're going to take a selection of some of our Discord members because we love hanging in the Discord. We want to thank you guys for just hanging out in there, talking with us, and just being there for us. So this is going to be a shout out to all of you, and this is going to be a game that Stubbles came up with where I'm going to give Goobs the Discord names. He's going to give you guys a nickname, and I'm going to try to guess the subject.
All right, I am ready.
All right, so let's start. I'm going to go through who is online right now and start with them, and we might go to the offline ones if I start running out of ideas. We're going to start with Soups.
Soups can be Twinkle.
Twinkle.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Real Dave Jackson?
Dave Jackson can be the Light of Galador.
Light of Galador, that's familiar. Okay, what about Otter?
Snoop Dogg Snow Cone Machete.
What? Okay, I'm lost there. What about Grand Rapidian Willie?
He can be Siegfried.
I don't want to guess yet. What about Fat Shags?
Fat Shags. Fat Shags can be Dragon Buster.
I think I know it, but I'm going to give a few more before I do, if that's okay with you.
Sounds good.
How about Keaton Flame?
Keaton Flame? What a weird name for Keaton. Keaton Flame can be Lucky 7.
All right, and while we're taking on Flamers, what about Ultra Flames?
Ultra Flames. Ultra Flames can be Excalibur.
Okay, I think I got it. One final one. How about the answered Zodiac?
Zodiac can be Zodiac can be the Ebony Blade.
Okay, so I'm fairly sure, especially since you're running out now, we have to stop here. These are swords, correct?
Yes.
Hey, I got one!
These are all fictional swords. And Snoop Dogg's snow cone machete is apparently from something called Homestuck.
Oh, okay, that one was where I was confused. I'm here like, what is this? Yeah, that one had me confused.
That's the point.
Well, man, I think we're good for this episode. I think I'm gonna maybe fly on over to maybe the tree in the backyard, grab a snack.
No, don't. You shouldn't. Don't do that. That just sounds like game over, folks. Woo! I'm back, Toby. The stunt doubles gave me the genie dust I needed.
Hey, you can buzz off. I'm at peace and one with my bug self.
No, you're not. You're not yourself. Go, gadget genie dust.
No. I'm myself again. Oh, wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it's magic, Toby. It doesn't take very long to work, but no more bugs for you.
I guess you're right. I enjoyed my time as a bug boy, but it's time to be a man again.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of which, can you turn around so I can see if the dust fully worked?
I'm sure it did. I feel normal and everything.
Ooh, just to be safe, turn around.
Oh, all right, if you insist. I guess it wouldn't hurt to check. Hey, there's still some genie dust on the floor here. Let me just bend over and get this swept up real quick.
Ooh, I like this view.
I was going to say thank you, but no. You can go now.
But I just found the Sword of Grope.
Get out of here.
Oh, game over, folks. For real this time.